little non-traditional video coming at you. This is kind of a big deal because everybody finds themselves at those crossroads to poop or not to poop in your bathroom, right? I really don't know why I was so hesitant about it, but I think today is the day. So we're doing a little ceremonial thing right now. This is something you might want to get, is one of these longer 6-footer extension cords, because you're gonna need it. Because I'm on low power right now, and I would hate for this experience to be ruined by my phone dying. So you got it right here, right? Don't mind the ghetto tape. This is just a little quick fix that we did here. It still works, and you have plenty of play, a lot of lateral motion. Up that one kind of came out, but that's okay. You still got enough to where you're just good to go. In case you're in here for a very long time, you got things to, hold you over, per se. Not every time, but since it's a special occasion, you get a little potpourri in there, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Actually, this is sea minerals. Bloop. Well, babe, when I'm in there, do you mind putting on a little reggae or a little ocean sounds? Katie, how does it feel being with somebody who's a freaking genius? Take your time. You hear that?
Oh yeah.
That's nice. That's real nice.
That's what sea mineral sounds like.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I'm gonna burn the place down.
Yes. And we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to episode 3 of Rollo's RV. I'm Basha, this is Rollo, as you guys already know. So today we're going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to show you guys a cool little upgrade that I did to my Coachmen Nova. Now, I think this upgrade is pretty awesome, and it actually works for any of the Ram Promaster vans, these camper vans, as well as pretty much any van, Ford, Sprinter, whatever. And the looks, the usability, the function of this little upgrade is pretty amazing. And I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of this from the camper van industry per se. So this product here comes from Rossmonster Vans. Rossmonster builds their own camper vans that do some amazing stuff, and they developed this little table that mounts to the outside of your camper van. Table is amazing. You can put your speaker on there, you can put your food, drinks, sandwich, accessory, assembly line stuff, whatever you want. It's pretty freaking awesome. So today I'm gonna show you how I installed it, how it looks on the Nova, and some of the uses that I've been using it for. Some of the uses that I've been using. I don't even know if that makes sense, but you guys get the general idea. So, yeah, let's get into it. All right, so here's what you get when you get a MaxTrax table from Rossmonster. Rollo, can you please get out of the way? No, don't sit there. It's a knife. All right. Back up, back up, back up. Back the hell up. That's the easiest way to open. It's an unboxing for you guys. Bam! All right. So in your package, you will have one full up MaxTrax table, minus the MaxTrax, of course. And then you get 4 L-tracks with a 3M. This little Scotch-Brite thingy to scuff up your paint in case you want to just do the 3M install. That Rossmonster says is possible, which it does work, but I don't like it. It kind of starts despawning after a little bit, and there's just a better way to do it. So Rossmonster told me that they included some self-tapping screws with the table, but those are not in the box, so they probably forgot that. But I think that if you order it from Rossmonster, you will get some self-tapping screws along with this kit. I don't recommend the self-tapping screws. Again, Rossmonster says they will work. The reason why I don't like them is because when you put those into the body of the van, you don't really know what you're drilling into. There's some wires there, or depending on what kind of van you're doing, you know, anything back there, there's a potential of that screw going into that and damaging it. The other thing is, you're not sealing the hole that you're making with that screw. So even though it's limited, there is still potential for rust. And Rossmonster does say that this 3M tape is self-sealing, so it should keep the water out. But you're relying on the perfect installation of this 3M tape. I don't like that. I prefer the rivnut method because it is minimally invasive. You can make a very small hole, put the rivnut in, and if there is a wire or something in the way, that rivnut is just gonna kind of push it out of the way where the screw might potentially go through it and damage it. So I like the rivnut. I think it's cleaner, it's a better install, and then if later on you wanna take the table off for whatever reason, the rivnuts look a lot better than, you know, the holes that you made with your self-tapping screw. So that's your unboxing to the Rossmonster MaxTrax table. All right, so the tools that you're gonna need for this project are, I'm gonna go through these in no particular order. I just have them all laid out here. So to start off with, you're gonna need one of these little punchy doohickey thingies. You're gonna need a hammer. It doesn't matter what kind of hammer, and this hammer is to put the little dimple with your little dimple tool. I used 3 different drill bits. I used a very small drill bit. This one right here is a 1/16, and this right here was to create my pilot hole. After I created my pilot hole, I used a, let's see here, a 23/64 to create my actual hole to put my rivnut into, okay? Now this other one right here, this is a 1/4" drill bit, and the reason why I use a, Rollo, leave that alone. Hey, leave it, good boy. And the reason why I use a 1/4" drill bit is in the brackets, they have 3M taping. You're gonna wanna get rid of that excess 3M material so that you can put your bolt in there without any obstructions. Of course, Loctite, 1/4" bolts. This is what it looks like, and the size of this is a 1/4" by 1/2 inch. So these are the ones that I use to actually install my bracket that you'll see later on with Loctite, okay? Hey, leave it. You're gonna need a rivnut tool. This is the one that I have, okay? Tools 607 patented, okay? That's the one I use. It's pretty damn good. I have had no issues with it, okay? Now, along with this, I use the 1/4" rivnuts, okay? Now, as you can see, these ones are kind of deformed. This comes into having a spare piece of metal that I found laying around that I could drill and make sure that I understood the technique of installing these rivnuts. So, I drilled my hole here. I used my tool in it, messed up once. This is for something else. And then I finally got it. It took me about 4 rivnuts to finally get the technique down, figure that out. Because you wanna be good with this tool before you do it on the van. You get 1 shot per hole. You mess this up, you're gonna be taken to a body shop and you're not gonna be happy with the bill. So, spare piece of metal, get really good at installing these before you actually do it on the van. Where's the stuff going? Give me a second. Rollo, here. Good boy, come on, get over here. Good boy, puppies. Good job. Okay. Now, gloves. You're gonna want shop towels. Some kind of a paint. With this rivnut, I used a 1/4", okay? The reason why I used a 1/4" is because the holes on the bracket of the MaxTrax table, they seem to be perfect for a 1/4" bolt of this style. You're gonna need this tape, you'll see why, but just trust me, you're gonna need it. A Phillips screwdriver, and you need a ratchet and a socket to fit your hardware that comes with your MaxTrax tables. This one is a, what is this? This is a 15mm, I think those are 15. You could probably get away with a standard one also, I don't know, okay? Also, I use a piece of cardboard, put a little hole in it to put up against my van and spray those little holes that I created in the body. See here, I didn't really use this, but I feel like some of you guys might find a use for it. Okay, dry eraser marker. This I used for my dry install the MaxTrax table. Had a friend of mine help me hold it up against the van where I wanted it. I traced out those brackets to see where I wanted to actually place them, and then I started my install. So this is a cheap and easy way of marking stuff on your van and then not worrying about getting it back off. And I think that's it. All right, let's move on. Okay, step one of this install got kind of deleted off my GoPro, so we're gonna go back and reenact this. What you're gonna do is, you're gonna take your table, if you have your MaxTrax and everything, you're gonna assemble it all on your workbench, on the floor, whatever you're working with, right? Once it's all assembled and in the up position, you wanna take all four of these brackets, tighten them down into the level straight position, okay? The position that they're gonna be on when you install them to the van for the test fit. Now you're gonna need a second person for this. So second person's gonna come up, they're gonna take this table, it's kind of heavy, and you're gonna hold it to the body of the van nice and snug. You're gonna step back, you're gonna give instructions, up, down, left, right. Get this thing centered, get it where you want it to be. You have a little bit of space to play with on the back of the Nova. If I had to go back and do it all over again, I would have probably played around with it a little bit more to see if I can get a more ideal mounting position of this to where I can operate this door with the table down. It doesn't interfere with it, with the table up, but if I wanted to put a Traeger grill or something else on here and plug it into the side of the van, I can't do that now. Once that's here and you find that proper location of where you want this table mounted, you're gonna come up with your dry eraser marker and you're gonna mark off all of these brackets. It doesn't have to be pretty, just put boxes where they're at so you know where they're gonna go back. Now what I did, because I originally tried to use the 3M tape, was I peeled off the back end of the 3M tape and I stuck it to the van because I originally decided to go with just the 3M mounting method that Rossmonster says you can do. And again, you can, I just didn't like it. So I had to go back and peel all that 3M tape off and redo it with the rivnuts. So if I had to go back and do it all over again, knowing what I know now, I would take the brackets and I would cut two slits in the middle of the bracket, one here and one here, a little slit of a 3M tape, and peel that off, okay? That's gonna give you enough stickiness to put it back onto the van with your person holding it there. It's gonna keep it in place, where you can take off the hardware of these 4 points and take the table completely off. Once it's off, all you're gonna be remained with is the 4 brackets in the perfect mounting position. Now this is where you want to step back and visually inspect everything, make sure that these brackets are level with the lines in the van and everything is good to go. Because again, once you put holes in this thing, it's gonna be where it's gonna be at. Also, don't try to do this at nighttime because I almost made a mistake with this. The lights, if you're using flashlights or stand-up lights, whatever it is, are gonna play tricks with the shadows and it's gonna look straight, but it potentially is not going to be. So do this in a well-lit area during the daytime, okay? So once that's done, and you have your brackets on the van stuck with those 2 pieces of small strips of 3M tape, we're gonna move on to step 2. So I line it up, measure it up, hold it in place, put my little punchy doohickey toolie, whatever the hell it's called, make sure it's nice and centered in that hole, which it's not right now. What do they say? Measure twice, cut once. Okay, let's see this one. That looks good. Okay, little pilot holes. The big 2364s coming in hot. Okay, good. Nice. Tape. Cool. Seal up that raw metal. Coachmen, you gotta do this. Clean up the excess. Rivnuts on. Okay, here we go. good. Last but not least, a little bead of sealant. And while it's still wet, I'm gonna put the bracket on. There's Rollo. Can I please have my screwdriver back, please? Thank you. I know you think you're slick, and if you just lay there all nonchalantly and protect it with your face, I'm not gonna see it, but this is mine. Thank you. All right, back to this. All right, little Loctite. A little bit of less. And boop. Look straight. So here's to hoping there's nothing really important behind this. I guess we'll find out.
I know we grew up a little too fast. I miss the days that we chill and relax. Where did the time go? It all passed. Now I need to go back. I had no worries, but always had plans. The only thing I did was pick out the trash. Now it's much harder to laugh. Hard to get up and not work on my craft. I need inspiration. Don't need no validation. No more medication. Just try some meditating. I don't need you to save me. Feel like all of you hate me. Everything's been so hard with all the situations lately. I just need to numb the pain for a minute. I just wanna run away on vacation. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain.
Be very careful not to punch through the body of the van. You kind of want to do this as smooth as possible and make the least amount of intrusion as you can. So, here we go.
I saw my life overthinking my purpose. Can't really cry, I'm so used to the hurt. Trauma keeps up me at the wrong moment. I just want to numb the pain for a minute.
So every single time I put up a bracket, I remounted a table to make sure everything was good to go. Again, you only got one chance to drill the body of your van. So I wanted to be absolutely sure that what I was doing was correct, because you can't really go back and undrill a hole. Now, Rossmonster does say that this table will hold with 3M tape, and I have seen another van on YouTube where they claim to only use a 3M tape. And it did hold, but there was some disbonding. Let's see a little bit right here. See that, how it's coming off? So it still held. And you know, it kind of just with the flexion of the van and the environment and this loud ass jet going overhead. Originally everything was nice and flush. After day 2 and 3, these little brackets started kind of peel off the body of the van a little bit, leaving little gaps. And on the back side, it started to droop a little bit. So it kind of leveled off and it still stayed there, but I just didn't like it. It didn't look aesthetic. It didn't look like it belonged there. And doing it this way, you know that this thing isn't gonna go anywhere. It's gonna support the weight.
Let me go, there's no doubt. Gotta get out of this small town. You took my heart from me. Now you're everywhere I see. Set me free, let me fly. Let me find new kinds of highs. We're just waiting.
Nice. All right. Now that we have our bare metal sealed up, let's install our riv nut. So I'm not gonna give you guys the tutorial on how to use this tool. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube for that. But I have discovered that if you set this tool to about 7, I don't know if you can see it there, that seems to be the sweet spot on the body of this van. I did a full-on 10 down here, and when I did it, it kind of bowed the body of the van in just a tad bit, and it made kind of a snapping sound when I fully engaged this tool, and some metal shavings came out. So I think I overdid it. It all worked out. I didn't strip any of the threads and stuff like that, so it was good to go. But I think the sweet spot on this is 7. So here we go. We're set to 7. So what I usually would do when there's a bunch of 3M tape, I would take my little 1/4-inch drill bit, and I would just do that, and it just cleans it right up.
The world and find my place. Hope you find some peace of mind. Hope the night was worth your time. Threw my heart away.
I don't want to over torque this, like I don't want to go crazy because I don't want to have those rivnuts strip inside the body of the van and spin. This is much stronger than a 3M tape, so just good and tight. I just keep giving it little turns until it stops moving.
It's a new adventure.
All right, everything looks straight. So I don't think we messed up. The next step will tell us if we did or not. Pro tip. When you're carrying these and you have the L-track in one hand, but you decide to grab the table with the other hand, as you carry it, the other L-track will come down and smash your thumb. Don't do that.
When you're feeling blue, you'll find me dancing. I'm nowhere to be, nowhere to go. In the rhythm, I don't think of you. Let me go. It's a new adventure.
Perfect. So you may have to loosen these up, and they have a little bit of play left and right, up and down, because the holes on these L brackets are a little bit bigger than these bolts, and that's important because when you install this, unless you install it absolutely perfectly, you may need to shift it a little to the left or to the right to make sure these little brackets line up perfectly. And it seems like they do now. So we're good to go. There we go. I think that looks good. So now that we got the Rossmonster table installed in the van, we need the final accessory to complete this project, and that is the MaxTrax table. So just got this in the mail, and I wanted to show you guys everything that it comes with. So let's pop this bad boy open, do a little unboxing. Roll it back up. So it's actually kind of cool how they box everything up. All right, so you get this little overland journal in here. We get these little battle areas, which I have no idea what they're for, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. This, and these are the pins. These are the pins that you're gonna be replacing on your table to actually mount this up. So, let's get this bad boy on the van, and we'll see what the final product looks like. All right, next step is we're gonna take these pins and replace them in the Rossmonster table here. All right, once you got the pins on here, I'm just gonna tighten down. Make sure they stay nice and straight in the orientation that they need to be facing for you to put on the table. Tighten down, right? You want to make sure that when you put this table on, there's a little play in these holes. So you want to make sure this table is pulled out this way, okay? If you have it pushed into the holes here, this is going to make contact here and stop your operation for the table to close. So make sure this is pulled out. Also, again, if you make a little bit of a mistake of making these 100% level, you also have a little bit of play in these holes here to adjust the table to make it look as straight as possible. So everything looks good to go. Smooth operation.
And again, you want these pins facing outwards because of how the MaxTrax are going to orient themselves. All right, let's install the table and see the final product.
There you go. I think it looks pretty aggressive. Very nice visual upgrade to the Nova, but also very usable. So now, when you're camping or going shooting or hanging out at the beach, whatever, tailgating, you got a nice table to go along with your awning here. There you go. All right, so welcome to Final Thoughts. This is gonna be kind of a quick one. So as you can see, me and Rollo are definitely enjoying our new MaxTrax table from Rossmonster. So let's just go over the quick positives here. Positives, it looks freaking cool. It becomes more usable when you're camping, when you're hanging out with your dog like this, pretty much anything. It gives you another place on the outside of the van to set stuff up, to put things down for whatever activity you decide to do with your van. Also, it helps with the limitations of Promaster front wheel drive. This thing is very prone to getting stuck, and with having these MaxTrax traction boards installed on the van, it's gonna give you the option of getting yourself out of those sticky situations. So those are the positives, right? Now let's talk about the cons. The only con that I can think about that has to do with this table is the cost. This table costs $1,200. The Max traction boards are not cheap either. They cost anywhere from $300 to $500, depends on the model that you choose the traction board. So you're looking at a price tag of $1,500 just to get this before it even goes on the van. All right, so you guys saw this table pretty much support Rollo. Rollo's like 600 pounds, so just for that alone, we know this thing is good to go. But I asked Rossmonster what is the weight capacity on this table, and it was pretty damn good. They said, I have to look back on the emails, but I think it started failing around 300 pounds. And that wasn't even the table, that was the sheet of metal that they had it attached to. So we're gonna do this last test before I end this review to see if this bad Larry right here can hold me up. Let's just say I'm pretty jacked and tan. I think right now I'm at least like 250 pounds of solid muscle. Give or take 80 pounds. But here we go. Let's see if this bad boy breaks off. Again, I don't recommend trying this at home because if this rips off right now, that would suck. I wonder if insurance would cover this. We just won't show them this video. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Huh? Huh? Look at that! Rossmonster, you did it! Rollo, what do you think? He's always got such provocative things to say. Alright, so you can be sure to know that this bad Larry right here, as long as you install it the way that I showed you, is going to hold up just fine on anything you put on here. So, that's pretty much it. So with that, this is my review and install of the Rossmonster MaxTrax table, along with the MaxTrax traction boards. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this table. Is it worth the $1,200, $1,500 investment, or is it not? And let me know what you think and why. Also, go ahead and leave in the comments of ideas that you guys think I should incorporate on the van. Different products that you guys think I should install on the van and then do reviews on. Whatever you guys think, put that in the comment section, and I will work on acquiring and putting it on this Nova and giving you guys feedback from me and Rollo. Rollo, you got anything to say to the people? No? Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Very thoughtful insight from Rollo. As always, we love you, boy. See you guys next time.
Great success.